clear until it starts.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah. All right, give me a few minutes and I'll.
I'm Bayless, by the way. I'm with the season. We haven't met yet. Yeah. I also know. Oh, it came to you. Oh, where? No, I don't. That's great. It's a lot. These county reporters just.
Lots of flood coverage.
Just walk it out. But is it on video? My first station was doing a live shot with someone else. I had to go to the or something. And we had the cable on a wire, and this lady just walked right between us. One, walked between us during the live shot, and two, there was a cable strung between us and just FaceTime. Had to be on purpose. But I watched her just cheat to come here.
What did she say together?
She just stumbled off. She didn't even. We were trying to ask if she was ready.
Come on in, y'all.
Okay, everybody good?
Excellent. Let's see, where's Chief? There's Chief Anderson. Thank you.
Go ahead, Joe. Yes, sir.
Good morning. Thanks, y'all, for being here. My name is Andy Brown. I'm the Travis County Judge. Over the past 48 hours, Travis County experienced an extremely deadly and destructive flood event. I want to start by thanking the first responders, dispatchers, road crews, utility workers, and volunteers, and people, citizens, residents, who have exercised extraordinary bravery over these past 48 hours. You've saved countless lives, sustained hope in the darkest moments, and will continue to do so in big and small ways over the days and weeks ahead. For all the people and communities that are impacted, we stand with you and are doing all that we can to support you. I want to thank the National Weather Service for sending out alerts before, during, and now after the bulk of the storm. Heavy rains fell across the region, especially in northwestern Travis County, triggering widespread flash flooding largely along Sandy Creek and Cow Creek, starting sometime around midnight on Friday building throughout the night into the morning. This led to homes, cars, and people being washed away. I spoke just this morning with folks. I went out to visit ESD1 and the other ESDs that are helping them out there out near Nameless Road along Sandy Creek. They showed me the people there. The firefighters showed me multiple houses, trailers largely, that had been washed away, just simply pieces of them down the creek, cars along with them down the creek. I met four guys that lived sort of across the creek. There were about 10 trailer homes there. They all survived, but they had a very scary night where water was coming into their trailers, and they didn't have a way, a way to get out. Their cars also had been washed away. They were in a tough situation. They told me that they received alerts about 12 noon before this all started, about midnight, and then alerts throughout the night as well from the National Weather Service. I spoke with ESD1 firefighters who helped evacuate people from the second floor of a house. The first floor was full of water. People were in the second floor. They helped them evacuate. I think that story repeats over and over the hard work of these first responders over the last couple of days. By Saturday afternoon, we had confirmed the deaths of 4 individuals. I think you'll hear more about that from others. Due to this event, 1 person in the Briarcliff area, 3 additional fatalities that ESD1, I believe, responded to in that area. There were 3 separate incidents, I think. Search and rescue operations are still going on this morning. The team at AA, I joined them at their 8 a.m. briefing this morning, where they divided up where they were going to be walking, largely along Sandy Creek, to look for folks up and down the creek. It's about, my understanding, it's about 18 miles of creek between the top and where it hits the lake. Austin Travis County EMS, you'll hear from them today. They responded to dozens of water rescues, most of them concentrated in western portions of the county near Cow Creek and FM 1431, where, again, mobile homes were swept away and residents were forced to deal with rising waters in the middle of the night. In response, I signed a local disaster declaration for Travis County on Saturday morning. My understanding is the governor has also added Travis County to his declaration of the disaster and has asked the federal government for assistance for this area as well. This helps us to activate mutual aid resources, coordinate with the state and federal partners, and accelerate emergency response and recovery efforts. We also launched a countywide emergency response operation that included activation of ESD1 and an EOC out there, deployment of medical and mental health response teams, and establishing a reunification center for families searching for missing loved ones. At the height of the storm, the National Weather Service issued additional flash flood emergency warnings for portions of Travis, Williamson, and Burnett counties, including the I-35 corridor. Some areas received over a foot of rainfall in a matter of hours. Low water crossings were quickly overwhelmed, and floodwaters caused extensive damage to roads, bridges, and homes, particularly in the western region of Travis County. And then late on Saturday afternoon, Travis County received an alert from the LCRA, the Lower Colorado River Authority, that flood operations had begun at Tom Miller Dam on Lake Austin. So they opened floodgates to manage upstream inflows and advised downstream residents to take immediate precautions as flows increased significantly and water levels rose rapidly along the Colorado. This action was necessary to preserve structural safety and reduce upstream flooding, and added, of course, to the complexity of what everybody was dealing with downstream. Travis County worked alongside the Texas Department of Emergency Management. We've got Cody here today from TDEM, who has provided us lots of support and been a great partner in this, as well as working with surrounding Central Texas counties that also faced dangerous flooding, evacuation orders, and ongoing water rescues. As for the catastrophic floods in Kerr County, Travis County is proud to have served as part of the coordinated effort that included Texas DPS, Texas Parks and Wildlife, Texas Task Force 1 Hilo Group, the Texas Military Department, and the U.S. Coast Guard, and of course TDEM. We deployed a Starflight helicopter with 1 pilot, 1 nurse, and 1 paramedic that completed 6 missions and 2 hoist rescues, moved 9 patients to a collection point, all in over about 4.5 flight hours. Throughout all of this, our first responders, dispatchers, road crews, utility workers, and volunteers exercised extraordinary bravery. I cannot thank this group of folks for their courage enough and for their quick actions. As we move forward, I want to reiterate that this disaster is not over. While floodwaters seem to be receding in many areas, the rain seems to be slowing down. Damage assessments, debris removal, and recovery operations will still take days and weeks. And we're still, I believe, under a flash flood watch until 7 p.m. today. So just, the same things we always urge folks: never drive into a low water crossing, especially during a storm. This had catastrophic consequences, I think, for some people in Travis County, and it's just something that you should never do still to this hour. Listen to your phone alerts. Make sure that you have an evacuation plan, especially if you live near a creek, even if it's dry, and use that plan if the National Weather Service or others recommend to evacuate. Stay away from flood-damaged areas today and tomorrow unless authorized to return. Report hazardous conditions or missing persons to our emergency hotline. And continue to monitor Travis County social media and emergency websites for shelter information, aid registration, and road closures. You can find up-to-date information at traviscountytx.gov/emergency, including recovery resources. So we've been through a lot the last few days, but we're Travis County, and we're going to get through this together. We are committed to doing everything possible to protect lives, help families recover, and rebuild stronger than before. And I'm going to pass it on now to the Sheriff, Sally Hernandez. Sheriff?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Sally Hernandez, Travis County Sheriff. People in our community have been utterly devastated by this sudden, unexpected flooding that took place. My heart goes out to each and every one who has suffered such great loss. As flash floods hit on July the 5th, our 911 call center experienced a surge in calls. The timing of those calls paint a picture of when floodwaters hit the affected communities. At 1 a.m., TCSO dispatchers received 49 calls, and by 3 a.m., that number spiked to 112. Flood-related calls continued to come in steadily for hours after that. We were fully staffed for the 4th of July weekend, so we pivoted those resources, our patrol deputies, to respond to the 911 calls. Floodwaters rose so quickly that roadway access to many of those callers were completely cut off. Deputies assisted with rescue efforts throughout the early morning hours. As daylight came and devastation became very painfully evident, we continued rescue efforts, and our special response team went door to door checking on the welfare of all of those 911 callers that called in during the overnight hours. Unfortunately, our agency also assisted with recovery missions. Today, we're continuing our search and rescue efforts, and one of our lake patrol boats is out with Parks and Wildlife searching the Cow Creek area, which is only accessible by water at this time because of the roadways have been washed away. Our special response team, along with the Travis County Parks, are assigned to barricade roadways to keep people from driving into unsafe areas and to help prevent looting. Our drone team is in the Sandy Creek area today, assisting with search and rescue efforts. FM 1431 and Singleton Bend West toward Burnett County is blocked to the damaged roadways. Juniper Trail is impassable due to road damage, and Nameless Road is damaged but is passable through Terra Vista. I'm grateful for everyone that you see up here and their roles that they have played in trying to help our community. But what I'm more grateful for is the way that our community comes together and helps each other get through these really hard times. Thank you so much.
Eric?
Yeah, good morning. I'm Eric Carter. I'm the Chief Emergency Management Coordinator for Travis County. Again, I'm like the judge. It's okay. Hats off to the first responder agencies out at the Emergency Service District 1 and all across the county. They really stepped up in what is a no-notice holiday weekend to respond to a very critical incident. Of course, we're all thinking about the folks in Kerr County, but as we know locally, we also had some loss of life. So
hats off to those folks. And again, our hearts are going out to them. From the Emergency Operations Center and here, the emergency management team, our sole focus in the first 24 to 48 hours is support to our first responders. Sheriff Hernandez was eloquent in telling you how she and the team have responded from the law enforcement side. Also, our public works team working hard, and we've got some folks here along with our parks folks and our transportation and natural resources department working yeoman's hours, doing everything from road safety issues, road closures, all the way to, again, search and rescue. So that's been our initial focus. While they'll continue that focus in the field at the ESD out in Lago Vista, we expect here we're going to be making our transition over to the recovery. We're getting to where we're going to get that incident stabilized. Now we're going to be moving into recovery. So right now, one of the initial needs folks need to understand, if people are out there and they want to know how to help, if you're a victim and you need immediate assistance, we want to encourage you to call the Red Cross. Red Cross is here with us today. They can help you with immediate needs. By later this afternoon, we'll be putting out additional resources. Red Cross will make sure that you are sheltered, that you have an immediate ability to cover first in food, clothing, if you lost those things in flash flooding. We know there will be other needs. We've got a great team of volunteer agencies and community partners that are gathering here at the EOC, and we're going to look at other resources we can put out for the community. We expect our response to move from here to more out in the Lago Vista area. That's where the impact is. That's not to ignore what was going on in the Briar Cliff and other parts of the county, but we know just from the reports we received, the bulk of the impact is out in the Lago Vista ESD1 region. So that's where we'll be in the upcoming days. As I told the team, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We've got to work through this over time. Our goal is to pace ourselves and do our jobs. So we're going to keep doing that. I'll let these folks here give you the highlights of their response. I don't want to step over that, but they'll keep at it and we'll keep at it. So thank you. Who? Chief. Thank you. Chief. Excuse me, sir.
Good morning. Rob Lukritz, Chief of Austin Travis County EMS. As was mentioned earlier, our hearts go out to everyone that was affected by this tragic event. From an Austin Travis County EMS perspective, in the early hours of Saturday morning, we received numerous 911 calls reporting individuals who were experiencing severe flooding requiring evacuation. Our teams, in collaboration with the Emergency Services District, deployed numerous resources. Austin Travis County EMS deployed 2 boat teams, as well as supervisory assets to assist in the command center, both in Travis County, in Lago Vista, as well as in Burnett County. We also dispatched several ambulances. In total, 25 individuals were rescued by our teams, and 4 of those were transported with non-life-threatening emergencies to local healthcare facilities. Our teams continue to work throughout the day to assist in the rescue efforts. In addition to our efforts here in Travis County, we continue to have assets deployed in Kerrville, in Kerr County, where we have an ambulance bus as well as a boat team deployed from our agency. In addition, our community health paramedics also assisted with the Emergency Family Assistance Center, which I believe was in Leander. It's moved a couple times, to assist in the care for those families that were affected. And with that, I'll turn it over back to Judge Brown.
We'll open up for questions.
Okay.
So we know that 4 are confirmed deceased. How many do we have missing right now?
So based on talking to the ESD this morning at the meeting that they had at 8 a.m., they suspect there's somewhere between 11 and 13, but those are largely unconfirmed. It's like they talked to somebody who said, we heard that this person is missing. There's one person that they told me about that they firsthand know is missing still. In talking to other people that live out there this morning, they pointed, to a car that they thought people were in that I could see, a quarter mile down the river. And so there are still people missing. We do not know exactly how many. I know firsthand that there was that one person confirmed missing by the ESDs.
Judge Brown, you talked a little bit about the notifications that some people in Western Travis County got. Could you talk more about what kinds of warnings people received and whether any of this death was preventable?
Yeah, So I can tell you what I have heard that people have received, and then, I don't know, Cody or anybody else, if y'all want to come up, please do. My understanding is that there was an alert from the National Weather Service sometime around noon on Friday. Then there was another one sometime around midnight. And then there was one somewhere around 4:30 a.m. as well. And then they continued on after that. Does anyone,
I'll add in.
you want to add in? Okay.
And the judge pretty much summarized it. All through the night, the team was both monitoring here and pushing. The weather service was very proactive in their warnings. We even called them a couple of times and said, we see problems. Can you issue a warning? And they did those warnings. So from a notification using the integrated public alert and warning system, those things that were firing off your phones, we were getting the message out. So very happy with that. The question of preventability, that can't be answered today, in the sense that the team is out there still doing the search and rescue and the recovery and the circumstances why any one individual would have found themselves in a tragic circumstance. We can't know that today, but I appreciate the question.
I know that we had mentioned that this was somewhat unpredictable, this came unexpectedly, but we do know that at least our meteorologists were forecasting that flash flooding could come in the northwest area of Austin. We know that this happened in creek areas. How predictable was this actually? Did this really sneak up on you? Is there anything that we could have done to protect human life?
I think the best thing that we can do is send those alerts out. That iPod system is very effective. It gets, my understanding of the technology,
Very
correct me,
targeted, yep.
if your cell phone is in that area, you get an alert. It's not like Warren Central Texas where you have to sign up for it. Some people get it, maybe some people don't. That is a very robust system, and my understanding is that the National Weather Service gave people many warnings, and obviously your news station did as well.
Next question. Follow-up. Yep, very good.
Follow-up, those four people that were deceased, did they originate from a home or a vehicle?
Talking to the ESD this morning, they don't know where they originated from. My understanding is that at least 3 of those people they thought separate incidents in different areas, but they don't know the circumstances of how they got there.
Right here.
Did you have any communication from the governor's office in the preceding days to this storm?
In the preceding days, I did not, no.
Judge, and just to be
Yeah.
clear, and we do have TDM here. TDM regularly, when there's any weather system, and Cody, please jump in if you need to, regularly holds statewide conference calls to all jurisdictions to make people aware of the risk of a given weather system. As we approached that weekend, the risk for this area was really down to the south, and ultimately the people down in Kerrville, unfortunately, they got it, and that's where that focus was. This system just began to turn, and they are continuing their statewide conference calls, but they did everything they could to make sure all the areas, counties in Texas were aware of the system. Cody, you want to add anything to that?
No, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and just so you said governor's office, I did talk to Cody on Friday. He's with TDM. I did also talk with the governor's office as we're more into the storm. Checked in with the governor's chief of staff. Yes.
Were there any evacuations held in Travis County?
There were evacuations, and ESD, do you want to talk about any of that? I know they told me this morning about people who were evacuated off of their roofs, things like that. Do you want to comment a little bit?
I can try. Michael Anderson, representing the Travis County Emergency Services Districts. When the event started to occur in the early morning hours, the agencies were called for dispatching for the rescues, for the immediate calls and needs. It's my understanding that the ESD1 area, the Lago Vista, Jonestown area, while they were also performing rescues, they worked to get notifications for evacuations. But most of their efforts were on the actual needs for the rescues. Any other further than that, I can't speak to that right now.
We're going to do last question here and follow it up right there. Just last question.
Last question for me. I appreciate y'all's time and providing us these updates. We know that Travis County is one of the biggest counties in Texas. I want to ask, why did this press conference come hours after we know that the fatalities happened in our county?
I think we released them as they're happening, is my understanding. Our main focus is on the actual, helping people who are out there in the floodwaters, and so I think that was the biggest effort that we've all been working on. Chief Bailey from ESD 11 was the incident commander out around ESD 1, and so we had these folks out there and making sure that they had the resources that they need, of course. And then my understanding is that Hector and others were in communications with the press about details.
I just wanted to ask how many rescues there were, and if you could talk any more about that.
Yeah, so I heard from the ESDs this morning that they thought there were about 50 rescues. EMS, does that sound about right? So I think they pointed at what's the name of that boat? The little inflatable boat? Zodiac. The Zodiac boat. They talked about rescuing folks using the Zodiac boat out there along Sandy Creek and along Cow Creek. They also helped people by foot leave their houses when the water was coming up. They assisted people to get out that way. So there were water rescues, there were land rescues. And I want to give an additional shout out to TDEM that, so there was the initial stage of water rescues, people responding to 911 calls, asking for help that way. I think it was Saturday. My understanding is that TDEM sent 2 teams. I think it was about 16 people total to add to about 20 or so people on our end to do additional search to help with rescues up and down the creek on Saturday. So that was sort of a land-based rescue effort. But so there was water and land-based, and then, yeah.
All right, folks, thank you all. If y'all have any follow-up, please let me know. and
One
I'll
thing,
cross,
Hector.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to publicize the Red Cross number.
Oh, go ahead.
So, folks, I'm Chuck Brotherton. I'm the County Executive for Emergency Services. We do have the Red Cross represented here with Mr. Pierre Wynn. Appreciate y'all being here. We have established a hotline for people to call, people who have been impacted by the flooding, people who are searching for loved ones who they may not be able to reach. The number is 1-800-RED-CROSS, REDCROS. The number is 733-2767. That's 800-733-2767. The Red Cross hotline, that is a national. They will get a contact number for you. They will refer the call to local Red Cross here in Travis County, and those folks will get back to you to assess your needs and do everything they can to help.
Talk about damage.
Yeah, please.
Cody McDonald, Texas Division of Emergency Management, District Chief. We just want to encourage everyone that was impacted by this, if they have any damages to their homes, to submit those damages to damages.tdem.texas.gov. That helps us get a track of how many damages, how many homes are damaged, what those property values look like, so we can submit that for potential assistance. So again, damages.tdem.texas.gov. If you'd please submit your damages to us. Thank you.
And one last thing. So there is a lot of debris in the water, in creeks, of course, that a week ago weren't a creek. And then there also is a lot of debris in Lake Travis, Lake Austin. Please do not go in a boat or swimming in Lake Travis. Give us a couple of days at least, and until further notice, really, to make sure that that debris goes away. So there should be no recreational boating in Lake Travis or Lake Austin or any of the other lakes right now, because there's a ton of debris, ton of hazards in there, and we want to make sure that people who are trying to engage in recovery efforts are not hampered by people trying to recreate in the lakes right now.
Great. All right.
Thank you.
All. Please let me know if y'all have any other follow-up.
I do have a question. I'm wondering if I could borrow Judge Brown for some Spanish.
Yeah.